Yeah, what's good, my babies? Welcome back to another tarot energy forecast. Last week of August. Make it count, okay? As per usual, I'm on my phone because I'm like, what are we doing? What we're doing? We are doing Monday, August 28th, all the way to September 3rd. I feel like we just started August yesterday. Isn't it wild? Anyway, we are officially in Virgo season. I hope it's been treating you well. We've got Virgo season. We got Mercury in micro braids. We got Venus in retrograde. And I think Venus is coming out of retrograde, I believe, at the end of this reading on September 3rd. I think so, Labor Day, around that time. So you should be seeing some goodness coming into your life. I mean, I'm sure that the retrograde is bringing you goodness in terms of clarity and lessons. May it be easeful for you guys, but a little less plot twist when Venus goes direct. If you guys are new watching this video, welcome to my channel. I'm your girl Tatianna Tarot. I do all the things, okay? I'm a priestess of the Sheshe tradition. I'm an Iyalorisa, a diviner, a mommy, Akashic record practitioner, subtle energy practitioner, entrepreneur. And you can catch me usually on Sundays or Mondays, giving you the 411 on what to expect for the week ahead using tarot and oracle. Please like and subscribe. Please share. If you're watching this video, just like. I did that last week, so thank you, because I feel all the love. And my intention is to spread this information as far and as wide as possible, because whoever needs to hear it, baby. All right, so we're going to be getting into this week. Before we get started, again, if you want to work one-on-one with me, you can join me on my Possess Your Spirit online membership. It is a membership portal where you get juicy classes, tutorials, mini courses, downloadable guided meditations, and so much more on an array of topics from personal development, spiritual wellness, divination, ancestral veneration, and more. Doesn't matter what level you are on, from beginners to experts, there's something there for everybody. We are a lovely community. We kiki, we have fun. Every month we have live classes that are recorded and placed into the modules, placed into the memberships. And of course, they're like these mini courses. I call them classes and workshops. Y'all be calling them mini courses that teach from an array of things, from the newest, which is the art of sensuality, activating your magnetism and divine feminine energy. It is giving you a 5-module class tutorial on how to clear any blockages and limitations from your sacral chakra, from that point and that apex of your femininity, irregardless of your gender. Everyone's got that feminine je ne sais quoi. So this course is dedicated to unlocking that within yourself, finding the ease and the comfortability in your bodies again, feeling safe, regulating the nervous system, and how to blossom into your most magnetic and juiciest self, how to create in the moment, how to invoke ritual in the moment, how to be sensual, how to be alluring, how to be magnetic, right? And so this 5-module class is giving you a step-by-step tutorial on how to do all that, from the cleansings to the clearings to the activations to the remembrance of who you truly are. We also have a mini course called The Energetics of Opulence. That is more than a 5-module course. I think now it's like 10 or something. I'm always adding on to it. But it is also a step-by-step guided tutorial on clearing the limitations of resistance towards abundance and ease and opulence in your life. We go into the programming and patterning that you've adapted and inherited from your ancestral lineage, what you've learned in your childhood and throughout the years on maybe why you feel unworthy, working harder, not necessarily smarter, releasing the energy of struggle that is encoded in your DNA, that is encoded in your subconscious, in your psyche, and welcoming in guides and programming and elevated energies and frequencies to remove the old templates, bring in new templates that allow you to operate with more ease, wealth, abundance, opulence, and success in your life. So those are two very hearty mini courses already on top of all of these classes that we have pre-recorded. Okay, divination, Akashic record work, ancestral veneration work, guided meditations. It is a lot in that portal. You can go ahead and sign up down below. The classes are not going anywhere. They will be there. So take your time, especially during this time of retrograde. It is so important and pivotal that we take advantage and do some inner work so that we can now see our lives flourishing before us as a result of that. So let's get into this coming week, honey. What we got Monday the 28th, and actually let me do my libations. I always do my libations before video, but I did not do that today. Omi tutu tutu ile tutu la roye ona tutu. Ori tutu. Tutu gungumabawa. Morales. Okay. Let me just get started. Love and light, grace, spirit, I ask that you come forth for whomever is going to be watching and tuning in, whoever feels pulled to watch this transmission and this video. What is the information we need to hear and know today for this week ahead, for this month ahead, for however and whenever this message will resonate? Give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Let the ancestors, the most elevated ancestors, the most elevated guides come through to speak. What do we need to hear? What do we need to remember? What energies must we be programmed with so that we can all individually thrive? What is it that we need to activate inside of ourselves so that we can help the progression and the evolution of this planet, the people within this planet, our actual home, Earth, and in building something that is healthy, loving, and safe for us all. Great Spirit, speak to us. Okay, so Monday, August 28th, and Tuesday, August 29th. What is the message here? This is going to be interesting, as the last 2 weeks has spoken a lot about sensuality, the divine masculine, shining, leveling up, activating, letting yourself be seen. So what is it that you have to say to everyone today? Okay. We are getting the Queen of Swords, which makes sense. We are getting, Queen of Swords is not inherently as a card that's associated with earth signs. Swords are associated with the element of air, so air signs. But the essence of the Queen of Swords does give a very Virgoian energy, right? So let's get into what she is trying to tell us, all right? I want you to look at this card and just tune in to your body and just take a moment to reflect on what she may be directing you to. Immediately, we see that she is pointing in front of her. She's almost like summoning or attempting to grab your attention, to handle something. What would she be prompting you to handle? What would she be prompting you to focus on? What is she directing you to do? Okay, I want you to take a moment and whatever answers that are coming up for you, either jot that down in your memory bank, or if you have a journal, that's even better. Queen of Swords is no nonsense. Doesn't mean that she's an asshole. That's more of the King of Swords, and that's just because that's just how he is. But the Queen of Swords invokes both the essence of water and air, because she is the feminine quality of air, which means she is the container for the emotional realm. So yes, she is very direct, she is very straightforward, she is very blunt, she's very no nonsense. We can see that, but she's also very tactful. She is very empathetic, compassionate, and mindful of other people's trials and tribulations, journeys, emotional realm. She's very in tune. This is the type of person that is very, very in tune with their own sensitivity and other people's sensitivities, and can articulate that with a sense of finesse and intellect that is kind of wise beyond their years. Okay, they can safely swim in the realm of emotions and feelings without feeling a lack of grounding, and without being lost in the abyss of the waters, right? There's so many times that we can really just feel submerged in our feelings, especially like they say, falling in love. How many times have you felt so strongly for someone, you're like, oh my God, this is not even me, I'm not even acting right, like all I could do is think about them. It's like you feel like you were casted under a spell. The Queen of Swords can fall in love and still feel those emotions very heavily, and still be somewhat logical about it, and still be, be able to perceive the nuances in between. And there is a sense of rationality, but the rationality does not take away from the magic that happens in the realm of the waters. And so she's really well balanced in both of these sectors, right? Which makes her, it's almost like a very loving, nurturing mom who is like going to tell you what's up in a very loving and understanding way. If you've made a mistake, if you disobeyed, she can understand the root of where that comes from, and what your heart and why your heart wanted to do it, and what lies beneath that. She can understand, she can empathize, but she's still going to lay out the laws and the rules and be disciplinarian in that sense as well. So this is really, really interesting for you guys this week, because particularly if you've been feeling a little swayed and disassociated from your body, from maybe an overt abundance of information that's been coming through from the retrogrades, like, why am I getting all these dreams about my exes, or why am I getting all these feelings, or why am I experiencing this in this particular part of my life, with my finances, or this with my family, and I don't know what it means, and it makes me feel this way, and it makes me feel that way. And it's like you're navigating, you don't know what you're navigating through, you don't know what the meaning is, you just think you're being pulled into the motions of God knows what. With this Queen of Swords, you are going to get some clarity over that. You're still going to be going through the motions of whatever sentiments and feelings are going to be coming over you and through you and in of you, right? But you're going to be actually a little bit more level-headed about it. I wouldn't be surprised if you get pings of resonance, like, oh, that's why that happened, or I'm tying this situation with what I experienced 5 years ago, or maybe the ex is coming back in my dreams because it's a reminder of a patterning that I can tend to repeat if I'm not aware of what I'm deliberately choosing and selecting. Or perhaps that patterning is telling me that there is a need that I am not meeting for myself, that I am seeking in other people, that I need to address in myself first, right? There's so many examples that we can go with. But the point is that the Queen of Swords is saying you are going to get some clarity. And with that clarity is going to have some sort of decision making, some sort of consequence. So whatever emotional, whatever emotional situation you're going through right now, even if it's just day-to-day life stuff, or the effects of recent retrogrades, or whatever this Mercury retrograde is going to bring, there is going to be an inherent larger lesson at play. There is going to be a aha. Mercury is tying up my words and making this communication really, really difficult, because maybe there's some sort of miscommunication happening internally with myself, or maybe there's a better way for me to articulate this, or maybe I'm not really speaking and vocalizing what it is that I want, or maybe I just need firmer boundaries with this. There's going to be an understanding and a rectification and a solution behind the fuck-ups and the mishaps and the potential headaches that you may go through with this emotional turmoil. It's not all going to be turmoil, but Queen of Swords is saying, okay, well, I'm swimming through this ocean and it's really dark, but let me tell you, this is actually where we go. It's almost like What are those animals that can see under the water? It's pure blackness, but they have that vision that they can see through the dark. This is what I'm getting from the Queen of Swords. It may have been dark before. You were prompted to shine your light. You were prompted to big yourself up. You were prompted to build up your divine femininity and masculinity. Now the Queen of Swords is saying, you know, everything is unpredictable. We live in a very unpredictable world. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. When people hear that, they usually twist it to think of something negative. And it's not always the negative case. This card is very much saying stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But it comes with an inherited understanding that you already know how to navigate yourself through the unknown. If you are able to pay attention to the cues and the information that your body is telling you, and the body would be the host of those emotional and sensitive faculties that you carry, right? The host of the water. And the intellect, the sword, the air would be your brain. So there is like a marriage between those two realms. And it's going to be really interesting because an aspect of you is just going to be like, okay, I'm going through these motions, but your brain is going to be like, I know what to do with this now. I know what path and what road to take. I know where not to go to and what not to do, or who not to mess with and what not to say, what not to take action on. So again, lots of clarity, lots of like sigh of relief, and also this confidence in yourself. Because you are now able to navigate throughout the realm of the unknown. You are now taking more responsibility. I am able to respond in a situation ably. I am able, you know, I am fully able. I'm fully resourced in body, mind, and soul. I trust my emotions to tell me what I need to do. I trust my mind. And I trust that clarity will come, you know, regardless of the situation. I can lead myself. I can direct myself. This week is a lot about leadership for yourself. Making firm decisions based on the information that you've been getting in the emotional realm, in the dream realm as well. But also these decisions are ¿cómo se dice? These decisions are not whimsical decisions. They're decisions that are building up your future. These decisions are investments in you. So I see a much larger picture at play. Whether or not it's like, okay, I have to really rectify these things now to be able to be ready for when my divine partner comes. Or I need to be able to adjust these behaviors and these boundaries now to be able to afford and have and bask in the lifestyle that I want in 2 to 3 years. Or I need to do this now in order for me to have this business to be as successful as I want. There's a much larger picture at play. And right now, the little decisions in the corners and the aha moments and the clarities that you're getting are breadcrumbs leading you to that massive end goal vision that we see. Because the Queen of Swords, she is a leader. She's direct. She's no nonsense. She's not making excuses for herself or for nobody else. She ain't got the time. Okay, she's like, get out of my way. I know that this is the way. I'm going this way, and that's it. Okay? She wants the shortest way, the fastest way, the most efficient way without taking any unnecessary shortcuts. She's not trying to cheat herself or the system, but she's just straight tunnel vision and go, boom. But she's not, unlike the King of Swords, she's not disregarding her emotions. She sees that the emotions are just as valuable and are another facet of her intelligence. Emotions are an intellectual component of your body, just as your brain is and your mind is. And so she holds them both at equal value. So take that take that as information for carrying on this week and the rest of the month. Okay, you might even want to journal. You might even, if you're tired of journaling, you might even want to record yourself. This is what I think. If you want to give yourself a reading and then psychoanalyze that reading, right? Or talk with a group of people that are psychologically apt and competent on your level, you know, and I don't mean that in a bad way, just some people are just not aware and some people are more aware, right? So you're having healthy, balanced, fruitful, and nourishing discourse with people who either has walked the same path or they have a different path, but they can empathize and relate to your journey as well. I really do see value here with the Queen of Swords in working with an elder. It doesn't have to be a spiritual traditional elder. Could be talking to a mom, a grandma, an auntie. Could be, you know, signing up for a course, going back to school, attending an event where there's elders. You know, there's a lot of wisdom to be absorbed. There are a lot of available energies out there for you in the realm of intellect, in the realm of emotion. So, you know, whatever you're feeling called to absorb in terms of educational means, a new book, a documentary, feeling like you need to write your own story, feeling like you need to just release whatever, you know, discuss the inner ocean of what you're going through and writing that down or speaking it or recording videos. There is a lot of wealth there that can help you transmute these energies and cope, or share and help others transmute these energies and cope. And also discover new energies that lie inside of you that may have been closed off from what needs to be released. I hope that makes sense. The other card is the Emperor. So we're getting to see that divine masculinity again. But this time, the divine masculinity is being supported by a new level of divine femininity. And I think when we think about the femininity and divine feminine, it's like pink and soft and sweet and cute. And like, oh, I gotta be soft. That means I can't be like, speak my mind or whatever. And it's like, oh, I'm cute. Like, look at me. I like bubble baths. That is a component. It is not the full spectrum of the Great Mother. And so in this particular spread, we're seeing the Great Mother come out to support the Great Father, almost like directing. It's almost like we are now seeing the emergence of the divine feminine in the realm of the Queen of Swords, being the leader, directing the Emperor. Because the Emperor did not come into his position by birth. There's trials and tribulations that the Emperor had to go through in order to boost themselves into this position of authority and power. For you guys, there's going to be a lot of clarity over masculine energy in your life, whether it's a particular man, whether it is a particular family member, a child. There is a sense of a power dynamic here that is coming to the surface. If any of you have felt disempowered by masculine energy, by the patriarchy, by the system, by misogyny, by anything that is not bolstering and hosting and honoring the divine feminine in any way, this is the week to snap back and kind of realize your power and realize just because this is masculine energy doesn't mean that it surpasses mine and that it is hierarchically higher and better than my energy. I have the right, I have the power to now direct that masculine energy and to put limitations, to put boundaries, to put orders, rules, regulations, and structure based on what my body is informing me, based on what my previous experiences have informed me, based on what logic and common sense is telling me with the mind, okay? Marrying the body with the mind, with the Queen of Swords. If you guys have felt disempowered this week, you might have clarity over what is needed for you to feel safe, what is needed for you to remind yourself of your power, because it's not like you've given your power away. You always have the power. You always have it. It's just a sense of disassociation from it. So with the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, maybe you're feeling like there's a horrible power dynamic at play with your finances. You're getting clarity over how you can regain more autonomy over your finances. Maybe you're like, I'm gonna budget more. I'm gonna stop giving all my money and my resources to family members because they guilt me into me giving them money. I'm gonna make a plan to eventually transition out of this job or career that is not very fulfilling, or I'm going to work extra hours on the side to build my side hustle while I have to do what I have to do here. There's going to be some sort of logical steps, some understanding, some kind of clarity, some hope and excitement and leadership coming from you in terms of how you're going to direct this masculine energy that may have stifled you, that may have limited you, that may have you forgotten of your power and your right to lay the law, to crack the whip. Okay? A lot of you guys may be having heart-to-heart conversations, if not in person, maybe from the heart chakra, maybe from the astral realm, with individuals that have heavy masculine energy. It could be toxic energy. It could be even healthy energy, but it could be a conversation needs to be had. You need to speak your mind. You need to articulate something. We're still in Venus retrograde. It could be full circle, needing closure. For some of you, it might be, I don't want this type of energy anymore coming into my energetic field. So I am now setting my field to be informed energetically that I'm only accepting this type of masculine energy in my life. I'm accepting healthy masculine energy that supports, uplifts, and honors the feminine energy, that is healthy feminine energy within that masculine container, right? It could be making peace with things that have happened in your childhood. It could be having some sort of clarity over the masculine patterns you have in your own life that you've inherited from your father, or your grandfather, or your uncle, or so on and so forth. Could be cracking the whip and setting tones and new regulations with children. Could be even with yourself, okay? Could be like, okay, I've been spending too much money here, or I've been wasting time and energy too much on the social media, and I say I want to do all these things, but a good 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours of my day is spent on scrolling on social media. So as a divine masculine, I need to focus and have structure, and maybe take 4 of those hours and put in a calendar. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Boom, I structured it. Okay, this is very Virgoian, serious energy. You're going to be clear on what you want. You're going to be clear on how your body feels. You're going to be clear on the steps to do it. And you're going to be clear on how to direct your masculine energy and other masculine energies around you. This isn't about fear, feeling smaller, feeling adequate. It's like really, it's interesting. It's like dark feminine energy. I know I belong. I worship myself. You have no choice but to respect me. If you don't respect me, get out of my field, get out of my realm. You no longer exist. Right? It's very, very intense. We've got Hathor, intellect, right? So it's still picking back on you're not disregarding your intellect. You got to make your brain work for you. That means you got to control your brain, but also your emotions are informing you on the things that you need to have common sense and a plan about. Faith and wisdom, all set. Isis, faith and wisdom. That is also coming from the emotional realm, your inner ocean, the void, source, creator. Okay, both of these worlds are being tied in together. Okay, so what's the next date? So we're getting the 30th and the 31st of August, Great Spirit. What can they expect from the 30th and the 31st of August? Okay, we're getting the Hierophant that just popped up. I had a deep, very deep sigh because the Hierophant is not one of my favorite cards. It's not a bad card. It's just one of those cards in the deck that's like, what the fuck is this card? Okay, so the Hierophant coming out for the 30th and the 31st of August, Wednesday and Thursday. When we talk about autonomy, when we talk about ownership of self, ownership over your own spirit, ownership over your own head, focusing and placing the emphasis and priority on your own spirit before showing devotion and reverence to anything else. Needing to pay attention of what's coming out of your own essence, needing to honor your own essence before you go to all these 5011 spirits Okay. Hierophant here is saying, I am the golden ticket. I am the portal. I be knowing. Okay. This is really interesting. It's going to be a heavy spiritual week. This energy of the Hierophant does encourage you to place your own spirit first, but pay attention to what your spirit is guiding you and showing you. A lot of us are always like, well, my ancestors told me this. My ancestors told me that. Oshun told me this. Freda showed me that. Eshu did this. Rakata did that. But it's like, do you know when your own higher self is showing you things? Do you ever talk about your own Ori, your own spirit showing you things? Because that too is a force in and of itself that does be teaching and showing, and is like, you're not separated, but it's almost like you don't give yourself credit to the greatness of who you are as an energetic and spiritual being. And so this week is going to, I see like this interesting energetic lasso, this invisible cord, this lasso that is tied up to your higher self. If you could just take a moment to like drop in and envision what your higher self would look like. Make it up, because your imagination is part of your intuition. If you could just envision that, and envision like an invisible cord, whatever color it is, that's looped around yourself now, okay? And it's looped around your higher self. I see your higher self just like running through fields and running through life, and it's like, maybe it's stopping at the bookstore and it's dropping a book on the floor, or it's trying to snatch your face to pay attention to a book, which y'all like, oh, my ancestors showed me that. Oh, it must be this spirit. And it's like, the higher self is like, child, like, we be one. I showed you that. And it's, of course, your ancestors be doing a lot of the work too. But what I'm trying to articulate is that this particular week, your spirit is going to be showing out. It's going to be showing out. It's going to be taking you places. It's going to be showing you things. It's going to be giving you dreams. It's going to be giving you information. It's going to be dropping in your head. It's going to be dropping in your body. It's going to be prompting you things, okay? And the things that it is prompting you to follow and to pursue and to look into are going to be the very things that maybe you have been asking for or needing or wanting at this time. If you're looking for a solution, it may come out that way. You might not be able to tie the two together, but perhaps if there is an event that you're being called to attend or is brought to your attention, there could be some sort of solution that comes from that event, some sort of connection, some sort of divine meeting, some sort of aha moment that happens at that event. Okay, so on and so forth. The Hierophant is trying to get you to honor yourself, to put yourself on a pedestal. If you want to do spiritual work, this would be the time to do spiritual work, to big up your own head, to cover your head and shower it with praise, blessings, to call in the things that you want, to pray for the things that you don't need to be removed, to be invisible from your own enemies, to give thanks for the things that you already have. And in that way, you're already showering yourself in your presence of your own temple with respect, with prayer. Okay? Hierophant wants you to pay attention to the places and spaces in your life where you're not making yourself a priority, where you're not listening to your spirit, where you're outside of your body, perhaps giving power and authority to other things that are not you. Okay? This could be in the educational realm. This could be in your marriage or relationship. This could be in your family dynamic. This could be at work. This could be in your spiritual traditions, right? You're doing things that don't necessarily feel right to you, or you're people pleasing, or you're not even considering what you want, what your opinions are, what your feelings are about something. You're just going with the flow without stopping to check in. Is this right for my spirit? Is this something that I feel comfortable doing? Does this feel safe in my body? What does my own higher self have to say about this? If my higher self had any words at this time regarding this decision, what would it say? What would it do? You know, am I getting a strong yes? Am I getting a strong no? If it's a maybe, it's probably a no until I get more clarity. What, you know, if my higher self can have a kiki at a dinner table with my ancestors, what would be the dynamic? What would be the conversation? What do I take from this? And so again, we're going back with the theme of taking your power back, or remembering that you have power, right? Remembering that you are always divinely empowered, and it's just a matter of falling back into alignment and not necessarily placing any effort or strain or something, but just remembering, snaps back into it. I was in the matrix and now I'm not anymore. I remember, right? A lot of that a lot of this spiritual work may be not necessarily things that I can prescribe or people can prescribe for you. It's not, healing is not linear. It's not a monolith. It's not turn to page 74 and do these 4 lines and recite this invocation and wait for the new moon. And these downloads are just going to be coming to you. So if you just feel like you need to wake up in the middle of the night to take a spiritual bath and your spirits are telling you mix these elements together, then do that. If you feel like you need to receive sun codes and be sunbathing because that is the healing you need, then do that. If you feel like you need to be bathed in the energy of children because your inner child needs that, then do that. If you feel like you need to cleanse your wardrobe, get rid of it, and because they're telling you that something new is coming, do that, right? It's not one size fits all. But I do feel like this week, and maybe for the duration of Virgo season, because the Hermit is very Virgo, it's a Virgo card, there are going to be personal prescriptions, personal homework, personal rituals, personal guidance, personal downloads, personal information that other higher elements, your own spirit, and other evolved factors and spirits are going to be getting to you, right? They just want you to remember your essence and your power. They can't give you homework if you feel like you are indoctrinated and enslaved by something that is not you. Because no matter what they give you, you're not going to listen. You're not going to do it. It's like you've got another energy in your body that's not yours, right? So you got to snap out. Let that energy out. Remember who you are. And then, boom, all the elevated frequencies can come in to give you guidance, to give you direction. So remember who you are. We're flowing here. We're flowing. We're flowing. We're flowing. It's not always going to be high. Oh, my God. And it's not always going to be low. Okay? We want stable. We want stable. We want rolling with the homies. Okay? And it's talking about mental conflict. Middle of the week, mental conflict. So the conflict may be that you're not choosing yourself. You're not prioritizing yourself. Well, how do I prioritize myself? How do I be confident? How do I do this? You just do it. You make the decision to just put yourself first. You make a decision to be full of self. You make a decision to fill your own cup. This is what we were talking about last week with the overflowing. You need to cleanse some things. You need to clear some things in order to be able to receive what is coming through. And for some of you, you can't even realize what needs to be eradicated from your life, or what weeds need to be pulled up from inside of you until you spend some sacred time with yourself. Until you say, okay, I need to not be distracted. Child, I went to an event the other day, and it was just so wild how everyone in my table was so distracted, including myself. I was like, damn, I didn't even have a drink, and I felt like drunk as hell because there was so much energy, so much going on. And I was like, oh my God, this is why I don't even go out, because it's like... So that's telling you how much distraction lies in our day-to-day, even on our phones, on the television, in social events. And Spirit is like, how are you going to be able to recognize when your own spirit, your own authoritative center, if you're the center of your universe, you don't even know about your own main character. You're so focused on the other characters when you're the main character. You're not going to know when you're receiving guidance. You're not going to know what direction to do. You have to be a pillar of stability. You have to be this neutral force that's like, I am always connected, so that even in the eye of the storm, I know what is coming through. I know if this energy, if I'm picking up on this energy and it feels like, oh, it's triggering this stuff from my past and it's triggering this, I know that that energy is not mine, because I did not come in with that energy. I must be picking that up from somebody else. So you know what? I'm just going to do a clearing. Fuakata. I'm going to pray, whether it's praying to your ancestors or your higher self, or praying and doing the sun codes, doing this. So many energies, all right? It's not just these spirits that are personified by humans or things like that. It's elemental energies. Earth has its own energy. Earth is its own spirit. The grass is its own spirit. The tree is its own spirit. The wind is its own spirit. The water is its own spirit. Start using the energies you got around you. Start using your own spirit. That's it. And the way that you do that is you need to stop being distracted by things that are not filling and lifting your spirit up. You need to be distracted. You need to stop being distracted by silly things that are just bringing mental conflict, that are trying to confuse you about your own power, that are trying to get you to be addicted to drama, to be addicted to fear, be addicted to shame, guilt, comparison, inadequacy, doubt, right? You need to come correct and be your own pope, your own priest. You need to be the high priestess of your own temple, the high priestess of your own elevated spirit. And so Spirit's going to be giving you a lot of homework. It's going to be sending you places, sending people to you, sending books to you, sending things to you to remind you of that. Okay, so pay attention to that. Okay, it could even be in the sweetest, most mundane things that are not quote unquote spiritual. Like you sitting outside on a bench eating a fucking muffin and a squirrel comes, and like in that moment you have a connection with the squirrel, and it's like, wow, I see God in the squirrel. Like, wow, I see the spirit in this squirrel. Like, oh, this squirrel is just, I just reminded myself of something. This squirrel reminded me of its essence. Something like, okay, I got that transmission. Right? You could be kicking, lounging outside by the pool, and you're looking at a tree, and a bird comes, and a bird starts talking to you in its consciousness. And the bird's like, where are your wings at? Why ain't you flying? And you be like, damn, that was deep. And you're not high. That's the thing. It's like it's so many energies. Just pop, pop, pop. What's going on? Anywho, I hope you guys got that. Let's look into the last week. The 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. Friday the 1st. That just flew out. Friday the 1st. September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd. What flew out is the 2nd of Cups, the 2 of Cups. Look at the 2nd of Cups. These cards are flying out. 2 of Cups. Is another police. This is not a police card. I don't know why that just came out of my mouth, but clearly somebody's got to listen to that song. Let's look into the lyrics. Somebody, please. Let's see what the message is. This is the 9 of Wands. So we're getting 2 cards. This just flew out. So Spirit obviously has something to say here. I know the first thought would be like, oh, relationships. Oh, love. Yes, we'll get into that. But this is actually talking about you guys not being able to get deep within yourselves. There is some sort of an intimacy, fear, blockage. Think of this as a masculine and a feminine component of the self. And you guys are now finally meeting eye to eye. Your masculine and your feminine side. So your feminine side is like, I want to be on a yacht. I want to look hot. I want to sip on cocktails and be like a thought. You heard? Right? And then the masculine is like, bet. Okay, but we need to make sure that you are safe doing it. You need to drink some water. We need to pick the dates. All right, maybe we need to save some money for the yacht. We need to find a good outfit. We need to invite wholesome people that are going to support this turn up of ratchetry. Okay, so like, you know, they're meeting together, meeting of minds, right? This is happening for you guys organically. You've been doing the work for several weeks. The masculine and the femininity, the masculine and the feminine meeting eye to eye, working together, teamwork. Meeting your own needs. So when you have a desire outside of you, like, oh, I want that person to pay attention to me. I want that person to shower me with love and praise. Okay, bet you do. That's a valid desire. How can you be meeting those needs for yourself now? Or what is it telling you about the needs that you're not meeting for yourself now? Okay, you could want that, but like, have you not been paying attention to yourself? Have you not been praising yourself with adoration and words of affirmations that are loving? Have you not been embellishing yourself with sensual care and attention, right? So I want you guys for this weekend to pay attention for all the things that both your masculine side needs and your feminine side needs, right? Maybe the masculine essence of you wants a back rub. Maybe the feminine essence of you wants a foot rub. Whatever. These are just simple examples. What does the other need that you can meet inside of yourself? What are your desires right now? In any sector of your life, what are your desires? How can you start meeting those needs emotionally and internally? Okay? Before we start seeing it out here, how can we Pinterest inside? How do we build a whole Marvel universe inside where our needs are being met on an energetic level, on a physical level, onto ourselves, just doing the best that we can. Doesn't have to be a big charade, just doing the best that we can, right? There's almost like a blockage here with the Nine of Wands. It's telling me there's a wall, almost like this is as far as I can go. With yourself. This is not even with other people. And it could be that some of you guys are getting flagged down and starting to realize that there are limitations or there are obstacles. There's only so far a road will go in a relationship. This could be romantic, this could be platonic, before you reach a bump. And it's like, okay, how is that being reflected in me? Like, what is this telling me that I want or need in myself? Or, you know, why is this coming up? It's not always that you're not necessarily not meeting a need. It could be, interestingly enough, you are the teacher for another person. You are the reminder for another person, right? So I don't want you to look at this like, oh my God, there's always something wrong with me. But these is just food for thought, things for you to think and write down and reflect and meditate on for the week. There is some sort of apprehension here, almost like as if you don't trust your feminine side, or you don't trust your masculine side, or they don't trust each other. This could be based on past experiences, memories of love. It's talking about the past, right? Maybe the way that I would reflect on the way that you receive love and how that programmed how you perceive love, how you deserve love. Maybe you've only seen love in terms of arguments and emotional manipulation or energetic vampirism, or whatever, or in very unhealthy ways. Or maybe you saw love as self-sacrificing, always giving, always people-pleasing, never checking in with the self, right? Okay, whatever. So this is something that is going to be very monumental for you, because again, it is helping to sow in the seeds and the cords to get you united with your higher self. Not as two separate beings, but I am always aligned with my higher self. Doesn't mean that shit's gonna be roses. Doesn't mean that maybe I'm not gonna feel some emotions that are of fear, of shame. It just means that in those moments that are not so grand, I am still connected, I'm still supported, and I can still get wisdom and guidance, you know? I'm still held. I am one. I don't need validation from anybody else. I am enough. I am a child of source. We're not separate, we're connected. That means I'm connected to these elemental forces. I'm connected to the tree. I'm connected to that bird. I'm connected to those ancestors. Like I mentioned videos ago, I'm connected to those spirits, and those spirits live inside of me. But I'm paying attention to the main essence of who I am. So, interesting. You will find some balance in the dynamics of your relationships this weekend, starting with the relationship with self. Okay, that is going to cue you in on maybe why you're not opening up, why you're closed off, or like maybe you have some perceptions on women, perceptions on men, perceptions on non-binary people, and it's been a limitation, right? You're just going to explore that without judgment. Oh, where did I get that from? Maybe I got that from a past life. Maybe I got that from my childhood. Maybe I thought I had let go of this situation, but it's coming up again just for awareness purposes, so on and so forth. There is a lot here. Food for thought. This was quite a therapeutic session. I'm actually going to be using this oracle deck again, the African Gods Oracle. I think a lot of you guys said you liked it. So, okay, I'll go with it again. Great Spirit, what is the message for them this week using this oracle deck? Okarang. The dangers of the world are always lurking. Christ on rice. This is Eshu. This is the most dangerous card of them all, as the negative influence of Odu Okarang brings dire foreshadowings which must both be feared and respected. No matter how hard you try to avoid them, we are all subject to the dangers of the world, the weather of destiny, especially the consequences of the choices and decisions we make every day. For this reason, the divine answer has already been given, and it is time to withdraw and resign. To insist on saying yes when the gods say no would be like awakening the force of a volcano and trying to control it with your hands. So I'm going to stop right here. So this is really talking about, yes, external forces. This is talking, it's an Orisha-based oracle deck, right? There's a lot in that as is. But as we're relating to this in the context of what was spoken in this video, it is a reminder to not separate yourself from these elements, but see them as living embodiments of energies that already exist inside of you, including that of your higher self. So when you are feeling any sort of discomfort within your body, within the gut, within the mind, any sort of hesitancy, or even if you're not feeling discomfort and your higher self is saying, no, don't do that. Ping, okay, ping. Or you're getting an essence of another spirit that's saying, don't do that, or just do this, or just wait. Listen to this, particularly during this week. It is very important. Not necessarily because I don't want to put the energy of fear in you like they do in the media. It's not about that. It's about honoring your own vessel as the primary source of wisdom and not being foolish with that information. So if your higher self is saying, you probably should not go to that event, like, or wait a couple hours, or reschedule that thing, or wear this instead, or hold space before you talk to that person. Listen to that information, please. Don't be foolish. Just listen to that information, because, you know, you don't have to follow a particular spiritual protocol, be a traditionalist, be a devotee, be a practitioner, be a priest, to be able to receive divine information and wisdom, to be able to receive guidance. You are your own full-fledged operating GPS system that is very self-sufficient and adequate. So trust that and go with that and just check in on that, okay? So to continue, the Lord of Contrast, it is Eshu who commands the inevitable risk and catastrophes. Whenever he manifests himself in this aspect, Okarang shows his most terrible face and therefore demands caution, attention, care, and precaution. Eshu, the Orisha, owner of all paths and crossroads, alerts to all types of problems and dangers at this time of life. There's a lot of chaos happening in the world, okay? There's just, the earth is earthing, okay? Mama Earth in her dark feminine self is tired. We are the ghetto creatures on this planet that just don't listen. And like intuition, she's told us no so many times. She's told us, don't do that. That hurts me. Don't do that. That's disgusting. Don't spit on me. Don't litter on me. Don't drill into me. Be nice with yourself. And now, look. She said, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I need to do to cleanse myself and protect myself because I've been putting boundaries and nobody's listening. Boom. The earth is walling out right now. Us being creatures of earth, we have our own internal chaos going on because not everyone is abiding by their own spirit, abiding by their own energy PS system. They're allowing themselves to be influenced by other elements and energies that are not theirs, that are not of source and creator, that are not divine. And so your best form of protection is by adhering to the guidance of your higher self, your ancestors, your elevated guides and spirits. And they're going to be giving you that information in and through your body. They're going to be giving you that information in your dreams, in your visions, in your audios, in your physical sensations, in your sense of knowing. Maybe through none of these sensations, it's just a knowing, a grasping, right? It is up to you to respect that wisdom that's flowing through you or ignore it. And if you ignore it, you might just step into some chaos that you didn't need to do in the first place, right? So that's what this is talking about, okay? Eshu, the Orisha, owner of all paths and crossroads, alerts to all kinds of problems and dangers at this time of life. In order to calm threats that pursue you, get back on track and make your days soft and light, exactly as life should be. You must urgently honor and please Eshu. Don't talk out of your mouth. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't create chaos with chaos. Don't feed chaos with chaos. Keep it rolling, right? Those who will rely on the Orisha's protection, especially Eshu, are less likely to have faced the world's blows. Tricks and tragedies lie in wait. Still, despite the constant threats, the regency of Odu Okaran brings a great lesson. One cannot take a single step in life without taking risks. Learning the right time to act or hold back, to face and overcome life issues, or to retreat and heal yourself with faith and courage is the greatest mission for our evolution. Okay? Okaran's shadow meditation. Knowing that life's risks are inevitable, I am consciously choosing which risks are worth taking in order to achieve my highest goals. Okay, this goes back to the Queen of Swords with the Emperor. Okay, knowing whatever is coming up emotionally, you're making logical decisions, you're making a logical plan, you're directing your divine masculine for the sake of this overall goal you see in the future. Okay? Or am I simply struggling every day with battles I could have avoided by taking responsibilities for my decisions? A word was given. May you absorb all of it. Okay, this was a lot of fun this week, y'all. Again, if you want to work one-on-one with me, sign up for my Possess Your Spirit online portal. So much juiciness in there. It can help you with the work that that was articulated this week. And more. So I can't wait to see y'all next week. I'm showing you. So with so much love, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to see y'all next week. Peace.